Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of SAMHSA, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, I'd like to welcome you to the 16th year of the Excellence in Community Communications and Outreach Recognition Program, also known as ECCO. I'm Gary Blau, Chief of SAMHSA's Child, Adolescent, and Family Branch. Today, you can call me Captain Gary because I'll be launching us into this out-of-the-world awards program. And my co-captain for today's journey is Sam Nerminger, a young adult leader from Massachusetts. Sam first became involved in mental health advocacy through a student group called Active Minds and served on its leadership board for 3 years at the University of Massachusetts. You may know Sam as a former youth blogger for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline's You Matter Young Adult blog. Sam's here, and she's going to help me announce today's 37 ECCO Honorable Mention and Award winners. Sam, I am delighted to have you with me today. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing?
Thanks, Gary. I'm excited to be joining you. I'm working at a community-based behavioral health agency called Clinical and Support Options, and I also serve on the Western Massachusetts Area Board for the Department of Mental Health.
Awesome. That's great work, Sam, and welcome aboard. As you might have guessed, this year, ECCO heads into outer space. In just under a month, on August 21st, to be exact, the continental United States will be in the shadow of a total solar eclipse, and the internet has exploded with excitement. On top of that, 2017 has been a great year for space exploration, including the new launch of a weather satellite, an X-ray telescope headed into orbit, and the beginning of the grand finale of the Cassini spacecraft's 20-year-long journey into space. Whew. Well, but before I get carried away, Sam, why don't you remind us actually why we're here today?
As many of our audience members already know, ECCO recognizes the community outreach and social marketing work that SAMHSA-funded systems of care around the world are doing. Just as a reminder, a system of care is a spectrum of effective community-based services and supports for children and youth with or at risk for mental health or other challenges and their families that is organized into coordinating a network, building meaningful relationships with families and youth, and addressing cultural and linguistic needs in order to help them better function at home, in school, in the community, and throughout life. By bringing together schools, healthcare providers, child welfare professionals, juvenile justice administrators, youth, families, and more, systems of care are able to build on each other's strengths to provide care that is more comprehensive and effective. It's kind of like how in Guardians of the Galaxy they bring together Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, Groot, and my favorite, Rocket Raccoon.
Great. Nice movie reference there, Sam. But my orbit goes back a little bit further than yours. So I can quote Star Trek like it's nobody's business.
Can you?
Live long and prosper, my system of care friends and colleagues. Anyway, our awards program today features 8 categories that include National Children's Mental Health Awareness Day, internal constituents, and children, youth, and young adults, among others. The nominations were reviewed by the Community Resource Group, today known as the Interplanetary Council, and when they're not overseeing the administration of peace and justice on planet systems of care, they moonlight as community representatives from systems of care. And this year, they carefully examined over 63 award entries submitted by 31 systems of care, and based on 8 criteria, that's how the awards are determined. So, Sam, going to tell us more about it?
Well, Gary, we're almost ready for liftoff. The 8 criteria are relevance to category, planning, cultural and linguistic competence, message, execution, creativity, effectiveness and evaluation, and my favorite, family-driven and youth-guided. Maybe I shouldn't have a favorite, but I can't say enough about how important it is to incorporate the input of families and youth into a system of care's communication effort. Family-driven and youth-guided means that youth and families are essential partners in the development, implementation, evaluation, and sustainability of systems of care. All right, getting off my launch pad now. Based on these 8 criteria, the Community Resource Group chose the 37 winners that we will recognize today. In most of the categories, we have bronze, silver, and gold awardees. although we may be throwing a few meteorites at you this year, so hang on to your space helmet. This year's winning crew includes some honorable mentions and more than a few ties. That's because many of this year's entries were so impressive, the scores were super close, right down to the decimal point. As you may remember, we didn't announce finalists prior to today's event. We wanted you to find out today with a big bang.
Wow. Well, speaking of big bangs, we didn't want to rock your solar system too much, but we can never resist the gravitational pull of something new. For the first time in a Buzz Lightyear, the entry with the highest overall score will receive an additional prize, the Shining Star Award. This new award replaces the previous award known as the People's Choice Award. The entry with the highest overall score among all entries will receive the Shining Star Award and stand out as the best all-around example of grantees' social marketing and community communications in 2017. So definitely stick around. We'll be announcing the winner at the end of today's Cosmic Caper. And a huge thank you to everyone who submitted an entry, and all of our celestial judges and our virtual audience today. So we're preparing the cabin for takeoff, Sam.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Captain Gary. I'm excited to go boldly where no man has gone before. Now, to our first 4 categories. These look at audiences that system of care communities reach, both internally and externally, through social marketing. The audience is at the planetary core of social marketing every time. Without first identifying your audience, you can't be sure that your goals, messages, or tactics are going to take off. Lunar landings are difficult if you don't identify the right coordinates.
Well, I couldn't have put it better myself, Sam. And since you're on a roll, why don't you tell us about our first audience category? Ready? Beam me up, Sammy. I had to say it.
It would be my pleasure, Captain. The parents and caregiver category looks at how systems of care reach this audience of people who are their child's biggest fans, who would do anything for them. Parents like Bruce Willis in Armageddon. Parents who don't want to miss a thing.
Wow, very nice, Sam. And a great reference to Aerosmith. I'm quite impressed.
Thanks, Gary. In the audience category of parents and caregivers, a bronze award goes to Chautauqua Tapestry, New York, Developmental Passport. The Developmental Passport utilizes a booklet and smartphone application to assist caregivers and parents in keeping track of a child's developmental milestones and healthcare information all in one place. The passport improves overall access to care by keeping track of a child's health information in one convenient place. For the Silver Award, we have our first tie of today, kind of like a double star in space. The first Silver Award goes to Community Family Partnership, Michigan, the GRIT team. The GRIT team introduces families to systems of care by engaging, equipping, and involving all parents and caregivers within the system of care. The team's motto is passion with a long-term purpose of perseverance, and its members are determined to make services and supports better for youth and families. The next Silver Award goes to the Florida Department of Children and Families. I know you love me, but this system of care developed a short video for parents and caregivers of youth and young adults with mental and/or substance abuse disorders. The video features youth in recovery explaining the importance of maintaining open line of communication with loved ones experiencing substance abuse disorder or mental health issue, and the positive impact it can have in the recovery process. And the Gold Award goes to Madison School District, Madison Cares, Idaho, mymadisoncares.com. Madison Cares created a comprehensive and user-friendly interface website with information about its organization, resources, and contact information so that any caregiver or youth visiting the sites can get answers, make connections, and feel more confident and hopeful in their journey. The website also helps those in crisis find somewhere to turn.
Awesome. mymadisoncares.com. Very cool. Thanks, Sam. Now, let's go back to one of the silver winners you announced for a moment. So take out your Hubble telescope because we're going to zoom in on the Florida Department of Children and Families award-winning campaign, I Know You Love Me, But. Mary Schrenker and Lori Blades are going to tell us about what went into this mission in 3, 2, 1, blast off.
The main goal of the Florida System of Care Expansion and Sustainability Grant is to provide services in certain rural areas in Florida to ideally expand the wraparound method of service delivery so that we can provide more services to the children in Florida. Wraparound is a process of service delivery that fits in with the system of care goals. It's very youth-driven and family-focused, individualized, and it looks at involving everyone who is involved in that child's life, be it professionals, non-professionals, mentors, and pulling all those people together to develop a plan.
We worked with the Federation of Families, Palm Beach Substance Abuse Coalition to recruit young people in recovery around the state who had received substance abuse treatment services, and we wanted them to develop a video that would target parents and loved ones. And the message really was, how can we help young people? How can we support them? What do we need to know? And so we kind of gave them some guidelines on some research and kind of how we would like the video to be developed. And they actually developed the video themselves. They developed the script, they did the research, they shot the video, they edited it. And we came up with the idea that it would be cool to kind of have the young people actually unveil it at the Behavioral Health Conference, and then have the opportunity not only to show the video, but have the opportunity to talk with service providers about what works and what's worked for them and what's helped them. Before we started this project, there were no consumers of behavioral health services at the conference, nor were there any young people who were actually talking about the experience of receiving behavioral health services. And 2 years in a row, we had them at the conference. We had listening sessions with them, so we brought people who are receiving services actually into that conference, and we've continued to do that. I think the advice that I would give to somebody who might want to replicate or do something like this is, for us, it was kind of a delicate balance in terms of structuring the project to a point where we could get a video that really had the basic components that we wanted. And really what we wanted was to hear from the young people in terms of what their experience was, what helped them, what didn't help them, but we also wanted to incorporate best practices and research.
Wow, thank you so much, Florida Department of Children and Families. And what a great campaign name. Talk about a solar eclipse of the heart. Well, I'm so glad we got the inside scoop on that one.
I agree. I always like the videos that let you go behind the scenes. It's better than NASA TV.
NASA TV, kind of like KSOC TV. But anyway, is that what the kids are watching these days? I remember back in my day, my parents actually woke me up back in 1969 to watch the first ever moon landing.
Oh?
Yeah, which was on, I think we had 3 channels at that time. So this is, Sam, where you're supposed to say that I should be too young to remember that. Okay.
I sense that I'm treading on some pretty thin interstellar ice here, Captain. I think I can safely say what might have held the youth crowd's attention in 1969 wouldn't exactly do the same today. We like things to be dynamic and instantaneous and have no commercial breaks.
Well, I'm not going to ask you what you thought of the movie Gravity then. But you do bring up a good point. When your audience is children, youth, and young adults, it takes a lot of research and a good social marketing team to produce a campaign that's really going to take off.
Sure, Captain Gary. Or convince them to swipe right.
Okay, well, honestly, sometimes I feel like I might as well be speaking Klingon. Would you please help the captain out here and announce our next award, please, Sam?
Coming right up, Captain. In the category of audience, children, youth, and young adults, we have not 1, but 2 honorable mentions. See, I told you there'd be some curveballs. I mean, meteors. The honorable mentions go to Madison School District, Madison Cares, IDs, Start with Hello, Rexburg, and Texas System of Care, Rio Grande Valley Anti-Stigma Campaign.
All right, well, congratulations in Texas and in Idaho. And now on to our bronze awards, of which we have two. The first bronze award goes to Helping BC Scores, Pennsylvania, Helping BC Scores Youth Ambassador Program. Helping BC Scores sought to foster awareness and understanding of mental health issues in 5 local school districts through their Youth Ambassador Program. Student ambassadors ranging in age from 13 to 21 designed T-shirts and wristbands promoting the initiative's hashtag, and each took what they learned back to their home districts to launch student-driven activities.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
The second bronze award goes to I Care Guam, Current Mood. As part of their ongoing efforts to create a mental health curriculum and presentations for schools, I Care Guam designed mood items that serve as teaching tools while leaving a lasting impression of their brand of fun in a memorable way. Which item comes with an overall message. Stress balls, for example, have change is in your hands. They're not throwing them to me, but I tried. Printed on them to serve as a reminder that community members have the ability to change the way they approach mental health, as well as the way they treat those who have mental health issues.
I definitely have days where I could use one of those stress balls or two. Oh, wow, how convenient. Now for our silver award. The award goes to Community Family Partnerships, Michigan, Agency Basketball League. Community Family Partnerships Agency Basketball League gives youth associated with the system of care an opportunity to play organized sports. The youth, coached by individuals with an understanding of mental health issues, play to the best of their ability and are taught based on their individual learning styles. And the gold award goes to Project La Lima, in partnership with Hawaii Youth Network Services. Take a Stand, Lend a Hand, Hawaii's Bullying Prevention video. This group, with the help of youth and young adults, created Take a Stand, Lend a Hand, Hawaii's Bullying Prevention video. The video reflects Hawaii's multicultural landscape and seeks to increase dialogue about bullying and promote social inclusion.
That's awesome. We'll talk about an exciting orbit. 2 honorable mentions and 2 bronze awards. Let's pause a moment and enjoy the view, while we also learn an important lesson or two from our friends in Hawaii.
You don't see my problems.
My scars.
My need for friends.
Love.
Family. This is only one piece of my story.
But I am so much more than what you see, and do not deserve to be judged
based on your perception of me.
I'm perfect the way I am.
I matter.
I matter.
I matter.
Be the change, stop the hate. Stand up against bullying.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Project La Lima, for that powerful message. Well, Sam, just when I thought I'd seen it all, I guess Captain Jean-Luc Picard was right when he said, things are only impossible until they're not.
I thought he said, may the force be with you.
I think you're confusing your stars, your wars, and your treks, Sam, but don't worry, the final frontier is still ahead. So, ready to go with the next category?
Aye, aye, Captain. Our next category is audience professionals. In systems of care, professionals are vital when it comes to helping communities and youth thrive in their communities. Professionals who work with systems of care range from social workers, health practitioners, teachers, judges, parole officers, faith leaders, certified parent support providers, and so many more. It's kind of like, how many people does it take to launch a spaceship? I don't know the ending to the joke, but as we saw in the recent hit movie, Hidden Figures, it's a lot more than just the astronauts we hear about. There aren't any systems of care partners in outer space yet, but never say never. After all, people are signing up to buy rocket load to live on Mars by the year 2030. Gary, have you signed up yet?
I can't say that I have, Sam, but you know, I think I'm good. I won't pretend that I'm not afraid of going to a place that has no oxygen, that is about 139,808,518 miles from home.
Got a point there.
Whew. I don't know. If they can find flowing water on the red planet, though, who knows what else they may find.
I'll take your word for it, Captain. In the category of audience professionals, we have 3 honorable mentions. They go to 1, Detroit Wayne Mental Health Authority, Michigan, Connection Systems of Care Annual Report to the Community, and Partnership for Child Health Jacksonville System of Care Initiative, Florida, The Ripple Effect, Northeast Florida Mental Health Awareness Award and Banquet, and Project ABC, Los Angeles, California, Still Faced with Dad. Now, the Bronze Award goes to Becoming, North Carolina, Breaking the Cycle. Becoming created a video for professionals, including agency decision makers and elected officials, to help them better understand the vision and accomplishments of the systems of care. The video demonstrates why and how professionals can adapt systems of care values and principles. The Silver Award goes to Oklahoma Systems of Care, Oklahoma Systems of Care e-learning, Wraparound 101 course. The Oklahoma Systems of Care Wraparound e-learning course provides statewide training in continuing professional development to wraparound facilitators, children's behavioral health providers, and child-serving agency staff via an online platform that was not previously offered in the state. The e-learning course offers meaningful interactions for learners, promotes and fosters fidelity to Oklahoma Systems of Care wraparound, and reduces travel costs and staff time away from work.
And a drum roll, please. The Gold Award goes to the Florida Department of Children and Families, The Recovery We Deserve. This system of care developed a short video, The Recovery We Deserve, intended for professionals who encounter and treat youth and young adults with behavioral health issues. The state's lead parent organization worked directly with youth who have experience with mental and/or substance abuse issues to write the script, bringing to light the treatment and support options that positively impacted their recovery. Now, by any chance, did anyone's ears perk up when you heard about e-learning?
Mine did.
Well, this is a virtual webinar after all. I know mine did, which is why I wanted to take you on a rover mission to learn about Oklahoma Systems of Care Wraparound 101 course. So here are some of our Silver Award winners now to tell us more.
Our social marketing goals are to really emphasize the youth and the family's voice and choice and really highlight that in everything we do in Oklahoma. Our project that we entered is an actual online e-learning interactive web course that anyone in the community, whether it's a family member, a community member, a professional organization, a family, a youth that wants to learn more about what Oklahoma Systems of Care is and wraparound. It talks about the 4 stages of wraparound, and it really goes through, explains what wraparound is, the principles of wraparound, and then it also is where they've woven into the e-learning part of it is the case study. Nevaeh actually walks through each phase of wraparound, and it talks about her story from phase 1 of wraparound to the last phase of the transition phase. That's a really big part of our e-learning to hopefully help explain to anybody that wants to learn more about in Oklahoma what wraparound really stands for in our state and what we really believe in it.
Coming up with this, it's like this plan, this big plan that we have for training frontline staff. And when we started with that plan on training, then we said, hey, we can make this for the general public as well, because we have community teams across Oklahoma, and being able for the communities to also go in and truly not just hear about systems of care and hear about wraparound, but actually know what it is that we're talking about when we talk about the difference between systems of care and wraparound.
It's really hard. It's an intensive program, and we just felt like we needed to be able to give anyone that wanted to know more, not just the providers that are contracted to serve our families, but to be able to help them understand I would say is really make sure you have your vision, you have your goal, and you have the right partners at the table to really start to develop something like this. And absolutely, with no doubt, you have to have youth and family involvement in something like this, because without that, without the youth and family that has either gone through wraparound or involved in systems of care at some level in Oklahoma or in a different state, they're the ones that really are able to give us feedback, give us the information, and that's how we really are able to structure what we do.
Thank you so much, Oklahoma Systems of Care. You might say, that's a wrap. All right, now, Sam, we have one more audience category to announce. I'll give you a hint. You probably haven't seen the original movie Alien, but there's a scene in it that gets spoofed all the time, sometimes referred to as the chest buster scene. Any baby alien bursts out of the John Hurt character's stomach, and needless to say, it's pretty disgusting. I know because I watched it the other day on television.
Well, I haven't seen the movie, but I think I saw something like that on Animal Planet.
Fun times. Yes, one of many spoofs, I'm sure. But the point in all of this is that the alien parasite was inside of John Hurt, and nobody knew it. The rest of the crew had no idea until that slimy thing came bursting through in all its glory.
Gary, that's pretty gross.
I know. I'm sorry. Apologize here. Appreciate your indulgence, folks. But what I'm trying to say is that it behooves us to pay very close attention to what's going on inside our systems of care. This involves listening to and engaging with our own internal constituents.
So internal constituents are alien parasites?
No, I don't think we meant to say it that way. So I guess maybe we were a little out in left magnetic field with that particular metaphor. So let's move quickly onward to our winners in the audience category of internal constituents.
Will do, Captain. First up, we have a tie for the Bronze Award. The first goes to One Community Partnership 2, Broward County, Florida. Help me, don't judge me. Lessons in cultural competency. The system of care creates a series of videos about the enhanced national standards for culturally and linguistically appropriate health services in health and healthcare, also known as the CLAS standards, as an innovative way to educate providers, community members, and families. The videos are using engaging skits based on real-life experiences of youth and family in Broward County. The second Bronze Award goes to Texas Systems of Care, the Texas System of Care Dashboard. This dashboard brings together...
Yeah, try to say that twice.
Yeah, no kidding. Data dashboard.
Okay.
This data dashboard brings together data on mental health of children and adolescents in Texas from a variety of sources to assist constituents in making data-driven decisions. The dashboard provides an easy-to-understand data and is available on the Texas System of Care website.
That's awesome. Way to go, Texas. And speaking of our Lone Star State friends, I'm giving a shout-out since I was just recently there. Way to go, guys. All right, back to business. All right, the Silver Award goes to Madison School District, Madison Cares, Idaho. Madison Cares Child Assistance Team Meetings. Madison Cares organized these meetings to open lines of communication internally within their school district and with students, parents, or with the students' parents or caregivers. The meetings strive to identify students in need of help and collaborate in planning and intervention to help that student succeed.
And the Gold Award goes to Community Family Partnership, Michigan, Quarterly CSP Progress Note. Community Family Partnership created a newsletter to engage its constituents. The newsletter provides a space to post articles, information, flyers, and success stories, and connect staff who may not be able to interface in person.
That's great. Well, thanks for that, Sam. And now you are about to enter another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. a journey into a wondrous land of imagination. Next stop, the Twilight Zone. It's not really. It's actually our 4 strategy categories.
Wow.
Yay! Time to start talking about planning and mapping and jet setting to infinity and beyond.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. The Twilight Zone was a throwback, but you had me at Toy Story.
All right.
I don't think anyone needs an explanation for that one. Something else that needs a little introduction is in this setting is the National Children's Mental Health Awareness Day.
Yes.
We recognized it on May the 4th this year, as in May the 4th be with you. But let's be honest, systems of care support children's mental health every day of the year. Now let's look at some of the award-winning ways our communities chose to celebrate Awareness Day in 2016. In the strategy, National Children's Mental Health Awareness Day category, an honorable mention goes to Bexar Care System of Care, Texas. Be a hero for children's mental health. The Bronze Award goes to Texas Systems of Care, Texas. Superheroes for Hope. Texas Systems of Care hosted a superhero-themed Awareness Day event that included a rally at the Capitol, a 1-mile march, and a partner resource fair to increase awareness and support for children's mental health. Now, the Silver Award goes to Humboldt County Transition Age Youth Collaboration, California, Directing Change Youth Film Contest. Humboldt County Transition Age Youth Collaboration teamed with Humboldt County DHHS public health educators and local organizations to host a free red carpet film screening of locally created youth films submitted to the Directing Change Youth Film Contest. Now, the Gold Award goes to One Community Partnership 2, Broward County, Florida, Mental Health Awareness Day event, OCP21, and First Annual Wellness Day.
Ooh, good job.
Thanks. The OCP2 First Annual Wellness Day set out to bring awareness to youth's mental health and recognize the resilience of youth in recovery. The events included wellness-oriented activities through different forms of art, spoken word, outdoor activities, performance, and celebrations of success.
Wow. Spoken word is something I can always get behind. Speaking of getting behind, have you been following the solar eclipse?
Yes, sir, I have. Is everything going to go dark?
Well, it kind of depends on where you live. On Monday, August 21st, all of North America will be able to witness the eclipse in some way, but the total eclipse will follow a path through 14 states, stretching from Oregon to South Carolina. Parts of South America, Africa, and Europe will see a partial eclipse as well.
Well, I can't wait.
Well, in Massachusetts, kind of like here in Washington, D.C., you'll only see a partial eclipse. But hey, it's still something. And for those of you in systems of care in Idaho, we see you, Rexburg, Montana, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, or North and South Carolina. I hope you have your eclipse goggles all ready to go. A total solar eclipse is a rare beauty. It's been nearly a century since one crossed the United States from coast to coast, which is why people are so excited. Just check out hashtag Solar Eclipse 2017 to follow all the buzz Lightyear yourself. And while you're at it, you can also follow me on Twitter at Gary Blau, PhD. Another beautiful thing is a well-executed communications campaign. Campaigns are as numerous as there are stars in the sky.
Yeah.
There are billions and billions, no, that's okay. But ones that are strategic, that are well thought out, and that are outcomes focused are the kinds that you really want to hitch your wagon to.
Speaking of stars, I'm getting excited for our Shining Star Award winner. Who knows? We may have already announced the winner without knowing it.
We don't know. I know the suspense is getting to me. I hope it's getting to everybody else. But patience is a virtue, and the International Space Station wasn't built in a day now, was it?
No.
So let's move on to the next batch of winners in the strategy category, Overall Communications Campaign.
In the category of strategy, Overall Communications Campaign, an honorable mention goes to Children, Youth, and Families Department, Behavioral Health Services, New Mexico. New Mexico's wraparound video. And we have another tie for the Bronze Award. One award goes to Community Family Partnership, Michigan, Up to You Mental Health Campaign. The Up to You Mental Health Campaign used social media, print materials, mental health first aid, and community resource booths to address discrimination around mental health issues, particularly in minority groups. Now we have a tie for the Bronze Award. Becoming, North Carolina, Breaking the Cycle. Becoming has created a documentary-style video that focuses on the stories of youth and their families and demonstrates why systems of care are important for the young adult population. The video also demonstrates how a system of care like Becoming works in the community to improve lives. The Silver Award goes to Texas Systems of Care, Drop the Stigma. Texas Systems of Care, in collaboration with the marketing agency and a focus group, developed a campaign to reduce the misperceptions of mental health issues among African American adolescent males. The System of Care developed and disseminated print materials to youth-serving conferences and sites and shared digital media on the campaign website, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Now, the Gold Award goes to One Community Partnership 2, Broward County, Florida. Wellness is Up to Me, Stigma Reduction Campaign. One Community Partnership 2 developed and implemented a campaign, Wellness is Up to Me, to reduce the misperceptions around mental health issues and promote wellness. The System of Care collaborated with youth, young adults, and their families to develop authentic messages and use relevant tactics to reach other youth, families, and others facing behavioral health issues.
All right, well, Alan Shepard, John Glenn, and Neil Armstrong are some of the names we think of when we consider the very early days of space travel. We owe them so much. And yet, we wouldn't even know their names if it weren't for years of planning that went into their cosmic journeys.
That's right, Gary. In Systems of Care, it's the same way. It can be tempting to jump in head first to a campaign on new material without first considering the basic social marketing principles that guarantee success in the first place. You don't want to mess around with the rules of gravity, and it's the same with marketing principles.
Well, I can say I'm no astrophysicist like, Carl Sagan or something, but I am going to nerd out for a minute since we're talking about my favorite subject, social marketing. Well, favorite after maybe Star Trek, that is. Social marketing is a discipline that applies marketing principles and techniques to create, communicate, and deliver value to influence behaviors that benefit society as well as the audience. I know I'm probably preaching to the comets here, but I think it's helpful to remind ourselves of how we do what we do. With a social marketing plan as our starting point, we can facilitate awareness building, audience engagement, and partnership development. As we implement the plan, we start to witness results for children, families, and communities. And ultimately, we see sustainability of our system of care values, principles, and services. So Sam, the eagle has landed, and it's time to get to the brass tacks of social marketing and communications planning.
Sounds good, Gary, but I hope you're ready for a change-up. There's no Bronze Award in the strategy, social marketing, and communications planning category, but there is a tie for silver. A silver award goes to Cherokee Nation Hero Project, Oklahoma, Cherokee Nation Hero Project Social Marketing Plan. The Hero Project developed and implemented a social marketing plan spanning across Cherokee Nation's 14-county jurisdiction area. The plan includes tactics such as Awareness Day, events, infographics, digital stories, newsletters, and photo voice projects to bring awareness to children and youth's mental health. And another silver award goes to Madison School District, Madison Cares, Idaho, MC Social Marketing Logic Model. Madison Cares social marketing logic intertwined with its community plan and continues to evolve. Each goal and strategy was developed with Madison Cares social marketing group to ensure ensure a strong youth and family voice.
Great. And the Gold Award goes to Community Family Partnership in Michigan, Communications Plan. Community Family Partnership developed a communications plan to act as a guiding document for all of the System of Care's messaging efforts, strategies, channels, and more. The dynamic document ensures that the System of Care stays on task to accomplish its goals and maps out the best ways to accomplish them. Now, sit back in your seats and fasten your space belts because we have our last video of the day. Tina Worrell is going to give us a look into Community Family Partnership's Gold-Worthy Communications Plan.
Community Family Partnership's goal is to expand the system of care for children and families with unique and complex emotional, behavioral, and mental health needs. Well, one of the entries that we put in the ECCO Awards was our communication plan, and that's the guiding document that we use to facilitate all of our strategies in social marketing and to give us direction as we move forward with those strategies. It's so easy to just pick up different strategies and try them out and see how they fit, or see what another community is doing and say, hey, that's really cool, maybe we should do that. And it's easy to lose sight sometimes of who your audiences really are, what messages you're trying to convey, and the strategies that are going to work best for them, what your goals are. Having that guiding document, something to go back to time and time again to help us stay on track, is so important. The first thing that we wanted to do was identify our audiences and break those down into groups. And we wanted to identify the messages that we wanted to give to those audiences. And once we established those, it became a little bit easier to identify different strategies. We wanted to stick with those that we had found to be effective or that others had found to be effective. And then as we go, we evaluate those strategies for their effectiveness. And if they're not working, then we need to regroup and change some of those. We're always reevaluating, always taking a look at that strategy, and that it may continue, but it may morph into something slightly different. So for instance, we may start out with a quarterly e-newsletter, and that may serve our purpose, but we may find down the road that there's a more effective way to still send out something digitally, but perhaps we need to change the timeline. Perhaps people want it monthly, or they don't want it quarterly, they just want it once a year. Start simple. Just start with a simple outline that lays down your audiences, your message, your goals, and your strategies. And go from there, build from there, and then continually evaluate, add to, make adjustments, and it will grow into a larger document over time. Well, I think one of the things that I continue to learn is that when you're building a communication plan and you're fulfilling your social marketing goals, it's really important to get input from so many other people, to do it as a team, to do it collaboratively, because what you think may work well or sounds really cool or is a current trendy thing to do, it just doesn't always translate well to your audiences. And so getting input from those audiences and having representation on your team as you build your communication plan will make that so much easier, because hopefully you make sure that you're encompassing everybody's voices.
Wow. Thanks for sharing your communications planning work with us. Is it just me, or am I sensing a theme here across our award winners? Just like our astronauts, each system of care has a flight control team back at Mission Control Center doing the behind-the-scenes work that goes into launching a spacecraft. No one gets very far in trying to do it all solo.
Maybe except for Han's Solo.
I guess I should have seen that one coming.
Well, don't worry. I have been known to go rogue one every now and then, but I think I can get back on track and help announce the next category.
Right.
Systems of care wouldn't exist without the support of our community partners, which is why we have a whole award category dedicated to partnership development. Sam, how about telling our audience what makes these finalists award-worthy?
I'd be happy to, Gary. In the Strategy Partnership Development category, an honorable mention goes to the Florida Department of Children and Families, Building Systems of Care Summit. The Bronze Award goes to Children, Youth, and Families Department, Behavioral Health Services, New Mexico, New Mexico's Black Dog Ride. New Mexico's Black Dog Ride was a unique event that merged efforts from various organizations throughout the state. The event offered mental health first aid training throughout New Mexico to increase awareness behind mental health concerns. Friends, family, and community groups affected by suicide were invited to attend and share powerful stories at the ride. Now, the Silver Award goes to Rural Counties Initiative, Central Plains Center, Texas. It Takes a Village, Cops, Kids, and Mental Health. Rural Counties Initiative, It Takes a Village event encourage and showcase partnerships and collaborative work between first responders, mental health providers, child-serving agencies, community organizations, youth, and families.
And Houston, we have a Gold Award winner. Actually, they're based in Austin, but work with me here, folks. Our last Gold Award of the day goes to Texas Systems of Care, Why I Partner with Youth, My Story in Pictures. This project helped youth-serving professionals across Texas understand the critical importance of youth in meaningful decision-making through authentic youth partnerships. The project helps support the development of youth voice initiatives across the state, including that of ACCEPT, a statewide youth move chapter of youth and young adults working together for system transformation.
Congratulations. Award winners.
All right, everyone. It is time now to reveal our Shining Star Award. Similar to a Best in Show award, the Shining Star winner is the top scorer among all of this year's 63 entries. And first, I'd like to take a moment now to thank the members of our community resource group who served as judges for today's program. Big thank you. Judges include Kay Barkin, Jackie Chapman, Joel Danforth, Adriana Molina, Annie Petiti, Annie Rosenthal, Nia Cernio, Angela Valenzuela, Ming Wang, and Tina Worrell. Wow. Thank you, everyone. Are you ready now to make one giant leap for mankind in the form of a Shining Star Award?
I know I'm ready.
Excellent. Can I have a drum roll, please? Our first ever Shining Star Award goes to, I feel like on those talk shows where, they sort of wait just for a minute. I see them all on there. It goes to waiting. Yeah. One Community Partnership 2, Broward County, Florida, for its Wellness is Up to Me Stigma Reduction Campaign. You may remember them as the gold winner of the strategy category Overall Communications Campaign. As a quick refresher, One Community Partnership 2 worked with youth, young adults, and their families on a campaign to reduce misperceptions around youth's behavioral health issues. For those of you listening in from One Community Partnership 2, we hope you're celebrating with some out-of-this-world moonwalking moves. Traveling through hyperspace ain't like dust and crops, and neither is receiving the top score among 63 entries. That's a Darth Vader reference for you, Sam.
Well, I appreciate it, Gary. Congratulations, One Community Partnership 2.
All right. And thank you again to all of the grantees who submitted ECCO 2017 entries. Even if you're not taking home an award today, I hope you know that we appreciate your efforts to help children, youth, and families in your community and across the country. You know what they say, shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, you can live on Mars. Or something like that. Okay.
I think you were close.
Okay.
But seriously, anyone who's interested in the first human settlement on Mars, hit me up after this. If you would like to learn more about this year's winners and honorable mentions, on the other hand, head over to www.samhsa.gov/children/ECCO recognition program later this week. Who knows, you may even get inspired for your next ECCO entry in a future star date. And please join the conversation on social media by using the hashtag ECCO. look out for some tweets for us. It was a great time to spend with you, with all your systems of care, learning about your work. It truly is out of this world. And it's been a privilege flying with you, Captain Gary.
Well, thank you, Sam. It's been a privilege as well here co-hosting with you. And a big thanks to you all for tuning in. I'm glad the stars aligned to bring us together, even if it's only virtually. I hope you learned something that you can incorporate into your own system of care social marketing efforts moving forward, because together we continue to work on making this tiny little planet a better place for children and youth and young adults who have mental health needs and their families, which ultimately makes us all better. After all, as Ray Bradbury wrote, space travel has again made children of us all. So thank you so much. Enjoy your afternoon, everybody, and enjoy your solar eclipse. Oh, and by the way, when it comes to creating systems of care to improve the lives of children, youth, young adults, and families in your community, as Jean-Luc Picard says, make it so.